It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 265. Tom Crawford, my longtime radio partner, Bluebelly Tom, and co-host of The Drive with Jack and Tom. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Spotlight Radio Network and heard anytime, anywhere at jackandtom.com. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I've been watching the Michigan State rivalry since I was 8 years old in 1964. Yeah. I always wanted Michigan State and Michigan to be the #1 rivalry. Michigan hate Michigan State more than they do Ohio State. We got a rivalry going on, so I'm happy about that. Not totally happy with what went on yesterday. Happy with the result, but I'm super happy. I don't have to wear that silly Spartan hat today and our little wager. And I was thinking about that when it was 7-7.
Yeah. I was too.
I bet you were. But hey, relief. Yeah, defense won, so a good win for Michigan.
And you look very wide awake. I thought you'd be tired after staying up all night watching the replay of the game over and over. No, you didn't.
I was watching NBA last night, man. There was a little fisticuffs going on there with the Lakers.
Also want to welcome Rico Beard, longtime Detroit radio and TV personality, Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and host of the Spartan Beat, weekdays from noon to 2 on the Spotlight Radio Network. Rico, you went to a birthday party last night for a Michigan fan.
Yeah, my best friend, his wife planned it, and I'm like, she got lucky because I'm like, it could be a night game. It ended up being a noon game, so afterwards I got there, and he was there. You know, his daughter, my goddaughter, were dressed in their Michigan stuff, and we took pictures together, and I'm like, Ohio State lost, Michigan State lost, Michigan won. I'm like, you should have played the Powerball and the Mega Millions. This was the best day ever, but I'm happy for Tom.
I thought I was your best friend.
Tom, you are not.
I'm in the top 25.
The fact that he didn't play the Powerball means that nobody won it, so it's still out there. You can play it again next week. Darian Harris is with us, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions, graduate student, future athletic director and aspiring broadcaster. Great work on Fridays at BTN Live. And you had Rondell Moore on your fantasy team.
I did. That's maybe one of the only wins I'm going to get this week, I hope, is to get the check mark. Get my fantasy win check mark. Except Chuck Long had David Blau, so it might be close.
Oh, that's
it really
might
be close when it comes down to the end.
If someone had the Michigan defense, they would have won. That's the real trick. We will be back in just a minute. We're going to look at Michigan State a lot of different ways, starting with the action off the field, what that means, and we're going to break it down for the Spartans and the Wolverines, and much, much more coming up here on Press Pass.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda. New 2018 Honda Accord LX, just $249 a month. Or new 2018 Honda Civic LX, only $169 a month. Just like your favorite team does it, we're going all out because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
When it comes to health insurance, what's your plan? Mine's Physicians Health Plan, and for good reason. PHP is right here in mid-Michigan. So if I'm looking for a new doctor or managing my meds, I like that I can just stop by their office if I have any questions. They're always there to help, and that's reassuring. So is the fact that they cover me across an entire network of providers. They've got me covered. Physicians Health Plan. Everything you want a health plan to be.
Get 2 rebates this month from American Metal Roofs. First, get an authorized manufacturer's rebate of up to $5,000. Plus, get a 50% rebate on our high-flow ridge vents. Call 844-METAL Roofs or visit
AmericanMetalRoofs.com. With a certificate from MSU Federal Credit Union, your financial goals will be within your reach. You can open your certificate with as little as $50. MSU Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
With the David Chapman Agency, auto owners insurance policies come with something extra. Local agents who care about you. Our agents will help you find the right coverage at the best price. 3 generations serving you at the David Chapman Agency, your local auto owners insurance agents.
Last man standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 47.
Team spirit. Face paint. more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for Spartan Sparring, brought to you by Steakhouse Philly at Kalamazoo and Clippard, my after-work and game day stop for great Greek food and sports conversation. Charlie Summerly, my favorite Matt Patricia clone, and his terrific staff will make you glad you stopped and sad you ever had to leave.
Warming up, a couple of our players and Michigan State came out and they spread out the whole 50 yards of the field, locked arms and walked 100 yards while we're trying to warm up.
We came in here, slashed their field before the game, and we still came out here and just got after them every single play. Sometimes your little brother starts acting up, and you just got to put them in place. Like they tried, they gave it their best. It just wasn't enough. Our guys came out on top, and we're just going to continue to work and try to get better and build from here.
There you see Devin Bush Jr. and Chase Winovich after yesterday's 21-7 Michigan win in Spartan Stadium. Darian Harris, what is supposed to happen when Michigan State takes its traditional length of the field march? If someone is out on the field, what's the normal protocol for that?
Well, we at Michigan State would never break ranks for anybody. I mean, that's first and foremost. Now, trying to read everything on this situation, trying to figure out exactly what went down. Did MSU come out 10 minutes late? Was Michigan not supposed to be out there? I don't know. It's a lot to unpack, but I do know that ranks will never be broken. Talking to some of the players I played with, they said if something like that happened, there might not have been a game at the end of the day. So this is a little bit of a new generation, kind of let a little bit of some other things slide and just a little bit of pushing and shoving. But I honestly, I know the guys that I played with. I know how they would have handled the situation. It's stuff like that. It wouldn't have flown. But that's the rivalry. So really, I don't have a problem with anything from either side, to be honest.
Watching it, it seems like it wasn't that serious initially. I saw Purdue and Ohio State cross paths last night, and there was pushing and shoving with that. What'd you make of Chase Winovich bringing out little brother?
I don't really make much of it, to be honest. I would say come up with something original. I mean, that's already been said. Yeah. We already know what it stands for. Still 8-3 in the last 11, albeit a good win. I mean, but for the guys of my generation, I was 4-1 against Michigan, so I don't really make much of it because to me it doesn't. 2-2. Yeah, exactly. He's 2-2 right now. It doesn't have the same vibrato as it did when Mike Hart said it. It's just a guy saying some stuff, and a guy I gave a lot of compliments to this week. And then to go and do something like that after the game, I don't get it. I've never seen any of our players do anything like that.
There was talk that there was a lot of chirping during the week, and I didn't hear any of that. I don't know if you did, Rico or Tom. If you did, but Mark D'Antonio came out Tuesday and said how he thought the last few years maybe things had calmed down a little bit. When you were watching from home, Tom, what was your take on the pregame and postgame? We know what happened during the game. Right. And Michigan controlled that, outgained Michigan State 395-94.
Well, I concur with a lot of what Darian said about, you got to stand up for your ground with your particular team. I'm not destroying property, what Devin Bush did. I'm not a fan of that at all. That was embarrassing to me. I did not like that part. But this is a bad rivalry, including Chase following after the game. I mean, this goes back to the 40s. I mean, this is when you see clips of Jacob Panasiuk bending back Ben Bredesen, look like when he's engaged. That's a bad look. And when you have social media as your launching platforms, that's why this is a bad rivalry, more so than it was. It's been chippy for decades. We know that, Jack.
Right. We're going to get into what happened during the game in a couple of minutes, and we're going to look at that from both sides. But talking about all of the noise, Rico, before the game, after the game. What did you think of Jim Harbaugh's Bush League comments, followed up by Mark D'Antonio's BS response?
Well, I mean, Jack, I think that Jim Harbaugh basically is trying to use this as the launching point. Like, D'Antonio took Little Brothers, and he took that and made that the new standard. When it comes to Michigan, it'll never be over. For I think Harbaugh, the same thing. He didn't see it, so Abeloff came in there and said, this is what happened. I think it's ironic that the only camera on the field was a Michigan camera from the school, so it makes me think this was a little premeditated, like they knew, okay, we're going to be out there, and, you know, Devin Bush decides to treat it like Tiananmen Square, and he's going to stand at the 50.
Why are they wearing the helmets? Has that always been?
They always
wear helmets.
Yeah,
they always
big
wear the
games.
helmet.
Yeah, we've done the walk with the helmets on. Call it a helmet game. You take the helmet to the hotel the night before and you sleep with it. Sleep with the helmet with you. So that's always been a thing for plenty. We did it with Oregon. Did it with Oregon game.
And you're grasping hands, right? As you're
arm in arm.
You're linked arm in arm down the field. You're going your
You can't clothesline anybody. That's physically impossible with a slow-moving train like the phalanx motion. So everything that Michigan's, I mean, look, when you win, you get the right history. That's why we don't go to Benedict Arnold High. But when you look at this, I mean, it was preconceived. They did, and you know, D'Antonio fires back. I mean, good. It was fake. It was fake love. Now let's embrace the hate. And you know what? At the end, it looked like Michigan was the one that won the World Series, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. You know, that's what it looked like.
They got to celebrate. That was the first big road win
for
in
this
12
team.
years, right?
That's
so
a bitter,
they deserve
bitter
it.
man.
To the victors go the spoils.
You know,
we'll be right
she called
back.
him
We'll
little
talk
brother.
Michigan State up next.
Why is October a great time to buy your next vehicle at Graf? 1, 0% financing this month at Graf Chevrolet. 2, got a trade-in? This month, Graf Okemos will double the value of your trade up to $4,000.
Drive away a 2019 Equinox LT front-wheel drive, just $141 a month.
With a great selection of new vehicles, 0% financing, and a great trade-in offer, October is definitely the right time to get your new vehicle. Only at Graf in Okemos.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
The Big Bang Theory has moved.
Moving is a big deal. You have to get boxes.
Little help here? Was it hard getting up the stairs?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Big Bang is now on weeknights at 6, followed by Fox 47 News at 6:30.
Dateline, 5 times a week.
Weekdays at 2 on Fox 47.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GM lease get a low-mileage lease on select 2018 Buick Enclave Essence models in stock for $259 per month.
Through Sunday. Psychovision3D.com.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you, as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
A good football game, I thought. Playing competitive throughout the game, pretty much had opportunities, but we got to make good on every opportunity. Not enough production offensively. when you look at the possession time, it's highly one-sided. You have to credit Michigan's defense, did an outstanding job. I think we saw every season there was to see out there in terms of fall, winter, spring, and summer. So we played through the elements there. I think both teams did that. Disappointing for our football team and for our fans.
Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio, he used the word competitive, and the score was competitive for the better part of 3 quarters. The game was not. Rico, MSU had 94 yards of total offense. It's the lowest since 94 yards in the 73 Ohio State game, 35-0 loss in Columbus. To get less than that, you have to go back to 1947. 0 for 12 in third down conversions. How much of that was due to Brian Lewerke playing injured and able to hit receivers? 5 for 25 through the air, and he did more as a receiver than a thrower.
I think it had a lot to do with that, Jack. You could see that he has the arm strength, but he has no accuracy. And I think that Felton Davis, and when he was playing Cody White, did a lot to cover it up. If you go back and look at Felton Davis's catches throughout the year, they weren't the easiest things, but he made it look good. So I don't know how long this injury has been going on with Brian Lewerke, but you could tell that he was just missing simple passes, just things that we got used to him watching. If you want to pop in a tape of last year, you would be like, oh, did something happen?
No, I'm just going to say, what does it mean? What does it say about Rocky Lombardi or the preparation of a backup quarterback?
Oh, wow.
I mean, it threw 20 out of 25 incomplete passes, no interceptions.
Well, that tells me that maybe you need to start blowing some teams out and get Rocky Lombardi some actual live practice so he can go out there and do something, because right now we don't know, because he doesn't face the bullets. He doesn't go out there, and that's the D'Antonio style. It's whenever a quarterback, leaves, that it's that transition year, so we don't know what Lombardi can do.
Darian, where do the Spartans turn now for offense with quarterback concerns, a running game which is still not reliable, and now without its best offensive player, Felton Davis III, gone with a torn Achilles?
I mean, well, you got to find something. I mean, whether that's Coach Warner figuring out different ways to move the ball down the field, or, I think it was a great surprise with LJ's return. I mean, I'm sure he got a great ovation in the stadium, and where I was watching downtown in East Lansing, when they saw that number 3 line up in the backfield, everybody was excited. So when it's your first game back, you haven't played in a long time. I didn't expect him to go for 100 yards, but he looked pretty good in his first game back. As Coach D said, he's got to get his wind back. He's got to get back into game shape. So hopefully he can finish out the year incredibly strong, and that's your spark. And then hopefully this Brian Lewerke injury is something that can get resolved, and he can get back to playing how he did last year.
Maybe Justin Lane has to go both ways. I got to get some people healthy. Tom Crawford, you said you thought Michigan State could be 11-1, losing only to Michigan.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about what Michigan State has moving forward against Purdue, how did they beat the big play Boilers?
Well, I go back to Brian Lewerke. I picked Brian Lewerke, the #1 quarterback in the Big Ten when we were in Chicago. Everybody thought I was crazy. My Michigan people did, but and it goes beyond the injury. He's been struggling all the time. But yeah, they can't get a run. They got to get that running game going. They had to get that offensive line protected, so that noise up front, which is what screws up Lewerke, throws him out of the content of the play. It's got to get remedy, as well as the secondary. Look what David Blau could do to that secondary right now. So it doesn't look good for next week for Michigan State.
Rico, next week, Michigan State beat Purdue?
No, but I thought that was going to be a problem game at the beginning of the year. I thought Purdue was the best 0-3 team because they were so close and they could put up a ton of points. They're going to dink and dunk you like Northwestern, plus they got Rondale Moore.
Graham Couch, frequent panelist on the show, LSJ columnist, said at the beginning of the year that Michigan State would lose 2 games, back-to-back home games, Michigan and Purdue. He's half right, but there were a couple others thrown in along the way. We will be back, and we're going to look at this from the Michigan perspective. Out of the blue, an A-plus outing for the Wolverines in Spartan Stadium. Up next on Press Pass.
Jets has been making the best pizza on the planet for 40 years because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe, all baked to perfection for a thick, golden crunch. So go ahead, take a bite. You'll get it. And now we've gone even bolder. Try our large, perfectly paired pepperoni pizza with traditional and bold pepperoni, just $11.99. Jets, better because it has to be.
Have you noticed a decline in a loved one and are worried about losing the house? I help protect assets from long-term care expenses. Call Crenshaw Peterson today for a free consultation. We protect you, your family, and your wallet.
Express your style with an efficient, cozy heat fireplace. Our design ideas combined with endless decorative options can make a bold statement in your home.
Honest, polite, and never pushy. Come see us at Superior Saw and Lakeside Fire and Grill between Holt and Mason on Cedar Street.
I need an airway.
The Resident, all new, Mondays at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Oh, great win, fabulous, fabulous mood in the locker room. Team feels great about itself, and it should. I mean, our team never blinked the entire time. They played hard, they played smart, and you know, from the pre-game shenanigans, there was no backing down today by our guys.
That's University of Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh. Tom Crawford hailed with victors. 7-7 game with 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Turned into a 14-point ass-kicking, as said yesterday. How did that happen?
Well, like we said, very similar to the 97 game, just let them hang around. Difference is, you know, you had the big disparity in obviously total yards, 395 to 94 in the rushing and all that stuff. The difference is simple. It's Shea Patterson. Michigan finally has a quarterback who can make a play on a 4th and 2 that they didn't have before. He's totally the difference. People have been saying, oh, this guy can't win big games. In that environment, in my estimation, that was a big game. The big touchdown throw, 79 yards to Peoples-Jones, turned the game, and he managed the game very well, and he's progressing each week, and that's been the big difference. And then when you have Ben Mason, a fullback who can get you a red zone touchdown like that, they haven't had that kind of fullback either. So those two ingredients, in my mind, stick out as additional entities for Michigan's offense.
A couple fumbles, but Michigan played almost mistake-proof football for a long time, Darian. And no matter what Michigan State tried to do defensively, Michigan had an answer.
Yeah, they did. You got to give hats off to the way that Michigan's offense is playing right now. Karan Higdon goes for 100 yards in the 6th straight game, and that just shows the importance of a running game for football. You have to have a running game to have a successful year and a successful team, and to be able to go over 100 again on Michigan State's defense. You know, that's now 2 weeks in a row that they've relinquished some big runs to a running back in the Big Ten. So obviously something's going to have to change there for Michigan State's defense, but it was just one of those outlasting games where Michigan was just able to outlast Michigan State in the end.
A couple of tip passes were caught by the Wolverines, but as Duffy Doherty used to say, blaming an outcome on something like that is like blaming the Johnstown flood on a leaky toilet in Altoona. That is not exactly understanding the entire scope of the game. Rico, are you prepared to say that U of M is the best team in the Big Ten and the league's best bet to compete in the college football playoff?
They're the best team in the Big Ten today. as we speak. They still got 4 more games to go, right, Tom? 4 more games to go.
Oh, absolutely.
So they still got 4 more
week.
games to go. Right now, you know, you could make an argument that, you know, what Purdue did, very talented team, probably not going to go to the playoffs. Michigan, if Michigan would have played and barely beat Wisconsin and then killed them in the Big Ten championship game, that would have catapulted them. But because they neutered Wisconsin and the league is cannibalizing himself, I don't know if a Big Ten team is going to make it to the college football playoff.
Does Michigan win the Big Ten championship in Lucas Oil Stadium?
No.
Does not?
No. No. I can answer. I mean, I can give you more if you want. No, it's going to be Ohio State.
Is that a guarantee?
Does it make it to the Big Ten
State
championship game?
It's going to be Ohio State.
Are you still guaranteeing Purdue is going to beat Michigan like you did a couple weeks ago?
Did I stutter?
You guarantee Penn State.
I mean, I'm sorry, Penn State. Penn State. You guarantee Penn State's going to beat Michigan on November 3rd. Are you still sticking with that? Yeah. Okay.
Darian.
I'm betting on James Franklin, which is iffy, but
wow, that's shocker.
I know it's a big shock.
That is a shocker.
Could the Wolverines defense be every bit as good as yours was in 2013, or did Michigan State make Michigan look better than it really is?
I don't think it's necessarily up to that 2013 Michigan State Spartans defense, but I don't think it was necessarily Michigan State making Michigan's defense look any better than they've already looked this year. I think they are legit. I think they are a very good defense. I think they are #1 in total defense in the country. At least they were last week, and it got to be this week. After this one, got to still be there this week. And I think it's every bit. Credit goes to them. Credit goes to Don Brown, what he's done. Credit goes to the players there. But that 2013 MSU defense was special.
You know what I love about this Michigan defense, and some of it, the credit has to go to the offense, the ability to move the chains, Karan Higdon and company. But 49 plays they were on the field for against Wisconsin.
Right.
I said, how did they do that? They were on for 48 yesterday.
Right. Well, in that possession, 41 minutes, the offense had the ball. I mean, this was without Rashawn Gary, too. They get him back. That's going to be an additional entity, and hopefully that bye week can get healthy.
Sure, he coming back? I'm going to pull a Nick Bosa?
Yeah, I assume that's what you want, but
I don't care.
We don't know. You know what?
I don't care. He's not coming back next year.
Yeah, they can get by without him.
Right, no, I'm just saying. That's
Darian, you're going to be in Indianapolis,
that's what you want.
probably, right, with the BTN duties, maybe. And do you expect to see the University of Michigan there for the championship?
I'm a little more reluctant to not say that they won't make it, but I still don't know if they're going to beat Ohio State. That game is just different in Columbus. I don't think so.
Haven't won there since 2000, but this is a different Michigan team. I just see something different. Tom, you say it's Shea Patterson. I think it's a lot of things. Offensive line's getting a little bit better. And that defense compared to the Ohio State defense, no comparison. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about Ohio State and the Purdue Boilermakers up next on Press Pass.
Why is October a great time to buy your next vehicle at Graf? 1, 0% financing this month at Graf Chevrolet. 2, got a trade-in? This month, Graf Okemos will double the value of your trade up to $4,000.
Drive away a 2019 Silverado LT 4x4 double cab, just $179 per month.
With a great selection of new vehicles, 0% financing, and a great trade-in offer, October is definitely the right time to get your new vehicle. Only at Graf in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Working with the IDE company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the IDE company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the IDE company family.
911, all new, Monday on Fox.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick. How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy. I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GM lease can get this low-mileage lease on this 2018 Encore for $129 a month.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a lawn that mows itself? Yeah, me neither.
But the Husqvarna Auto Mower will mow the lawn for you, rain or shine. The Husqvarna Auto Mower charges automatically. It's silent, safe, there's virtually no maintenance, and your lawn will look like carpet. Here at Midwest Power Equipment, we are your one-stop shop for installation, service, and information. You might be thinking the Husqvarna Auto Mower sounds too good to be true. It's not. So come into Midwest Power Equipment today.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were in August for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Ohio State was coming out just as Purdue was also coming on the field. Wouldn't plan, but they kind of got near each other, and it's a little feisty. Kicked 11 field goals in the red zone. And now a throw to the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Wow, rolls that direction and delivers underneath. Touchdown! Old-time Big Ten football. Touchdown, Purdue! More to the left. It's a quick handoff, and bursting up the middle is Knox. Dexter, Phillip Knox, touchdown! They fake it to him now. Knox cuts back. Knox in the clear. Foot race. Touchdown, Purdue! All the way down. It's Moore in motion. They get it to him. Moore in space. A burst of speed. A first down for Purdue. He's still going. Moore cuts back. Touchdown! In the world of pulling the upset, they're contenders in the Big Ten West. And it's intercepted. Bailey the other way. Marcus Bailey punctuates this upset with a pick six.
Wow. 49-20, Boilermakers.
Those big plays were almost boring after a while. That was incredible.
Well, that's our team that's been bored. Yeah. Darian Harris has Purdue become the most dangerous team in the Big Ten West. And how has Jeff Brom done this with one marquee recruit, Rondale Moore, and a bunch of guys who are lightly recruited?
Well, I think they are probably the most dangerous team in the West right now. The West is going to get interesting, obviously. I mean, you got the Purdue-Wisconsin game. You got Northwestern-Wisconsin. Then you got, Purdue. I mean, we don't know. It's a three-team race right now. So I think if they can continue this momentum, they have a very strong chance of making it to Indianapolis. And the way Coach Brom has done it is just as you said. He's got the marquee recruit. I think Rondale Moore, pound for pound, is probably the best football player in the Big Ten, really, if not the country right now, the way he's playing. You got your quarterback. Since September, David Blau is only second behind Dwayne Haskins in passing yards in the entire country. You got your running back at DJ Knox. Your defense is playing well. I was surprised by the score, 49-20, but not necessarily the outcome. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day in college football, and that's just a fact, especially in the Big Ten.
Talk about the three teams. Don't forget the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Tell me about it.
23-0 win over Maryland, the team that beat Texas. Tom, is Purdue your new pick to win the Big Ten West?
Well, on Monitor 2 at Crawford Indoor Stadium, I was watching Iowa and Maryland, and they look really, really good. So, I mean, I think that Iowa's there. I mean, Iowa and Purdue play, I think, in Iowa, or I'm not sure where that game is played at. Then you got Purdue and Wisconsin. Those are your decision makers right there, because I think Wisconsin is going to roll Northwestern in Evanston this Saturday. I truly think that. Maybe a 14, 17-point win. Not impressed by Northwestern. So, Purdue has as good a chance as any, and they got that three-prong attack. And when I saw them lose to Mizzou and Eastern, close games, but they look terrible.
Wisconsin still has to play at Penn State. I know you're not big on Penn State.
And Iowa's got to play at Penn State.
So Penn State could be team that decides what happens, even if it doesn't involve them.
Exactly.
Rico, Ohio State must have thought it was in Iowa City. Second year, the men in black have destroyed them in a night game by a combined 60 points.
Right.
How's this happen?
I don't know. For me, it's Purdue to Ohio State is what Northwestern is to Michigan State. It's what Indiana is to Michigan. It's that team that they know what you're going to do, and they play the close games. And I think for Ohio State, like myself, I thought Ohio State will eventually come back, and Purdue, no pun intended, that train kept rolling. Yeah. And before you knew it, they couldn't stop it. They couldn't do anything. Purdue spreads you out. That offense is what I think Rich Rodriguez thought his offense was going to be with the spread, because they hit you in all different places, either up the middle or out to the side. They get people in space, and you can't cover anybody, and you're one-on-one. So if you slip and fall, you saw how many big plays they had because a guy missed a tackle.
I don't know if there is a Big Ten defensive back who can cover Rondale Moore.
Well, I mean, and Rich Rod never had a Rondale Moore. I mean, now he, bullied that one. I mean, they made that secondary Ohio State look like a Pop Warner team. It was crazy.
Rico, are the Buckeyes toast as a playoff contender, or are they just a seriously flawed, one-dimensional, soon-to-be Big Ten champion?
I think they may be the flawed Big Ten champion. The college football playoff, I think when Ohio State lost last night, I don't see the Big Ten getting in. Now, they would need a little help. You will have probably a one-loss team, or maybe a two-loss team's not going to make it, but a one-loss team could possibly get on the waiting list, but not necessarily in, because you're going to have to compete with probably either Texas and Oklahoma for that last spot.
And I think a lot of it has to do with what your loss is. When I look at it, Michigan's loss,
Notre Dame.
7-point loss to Notre Dame,
game week,
probable playoff team. Ohio State, hey, when you lose by more than 4 touchdowns, that's a bad look. We'll be right back with more Detroit Lions up next.
What is your favorite fall beer? Send us pics of your favorite pumpkin-y beverage to yespics@fox47news.com. Sponsored by Quality Dairy.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda with the biggest lineup of new Hondas from Capital Honda.
Saturday, November 3rd, the Potter Center at Jackson College welcomes the Roots and Boots Tour, featuring Aaron Tippin,
You got to be your own man.
Sammy Kershaw, and Colin Ray.
The sun came up.
Tickets are on sale now at the Potter Center box office or online at jccmi.edu/Potter Center. The Roots and Boots Tour. One night only. Saturday, November 3rd.
Every superhero has their kryptonite.
Girl.
Yo, Raj, talk to me. How about a hug?
How about a hearty handshake?
Come on.
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 6 and 7 on Fox 47.
Thursday Night Football live on Fox, the NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The hospital wouldn't put something inside me that would hurt me.
Dan Val's too big.
You don't get to make surprise decisions that affect our patients.
Cancel the surgery.
The Resident. All new Monday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. The Woody's items are now available at Tom's Foods and other local grocers.
Desperation mode for Chicago. Rush coming. Trubisky steps up. Trubisky uncorks. Deep ball on the way. It is caught, but he couldn't get in.
There you see the last play of the Bears-Patriots game. So close, and we have seen those kinds of Hail Marys before.
It's a game of inches, Jack.
Keith Nickel, Michael Westbrook.
Throw it into the end zone.
Absolutely. Very happy to be joined by Doug Warren. He is our Detroit Lions and NFL historian. Doug, what does it say that the Lions won a road game today against a team with a winning record, and that's something the Chicago Bears could not do Miami last weekend?
Well, it says the Lions, a couple of things. I think all that extra running and things that they did in training camp that everybody was complaining about, the rumors that the players weren't enjoying that extra conditioning, it paid off today for them, playing in that 80, 90-degree weather and able to weather that storm and pull out the victory at the end in convincing fashion. 158 yards rushing for Kerryon Johnson. The Lions as a team rushed for the most yards since 1997. Matthew Stafford's 18 of 22, highly efficient. He, since opening night against the Jets, the loss, he's got 11 touchdowns and just 1 pick. No turnovers today, and the Lions have 4 sacks. It was a great all-around victory for Detroit.
When you think about the Lions and 100-yard rushers, you don't usually use them in the same sentence, at least not lately, and been 5 years, and now it seems like you almost expect it to happen every week or every other week from Kerryon Johnson. What has his maturation meant for Matthew Stafford?
Well, I think you saw today that Stafford only had to throw the ball 22 times, completed 18 of those to 8 different receivers. When a quarterback at any level has a running game to lean on, it makes it a little easier for them. The whole team, the offense isn't resting on his shoulders anymore, and he can just pick his spots, and the offense is more unpredictable, and it's more difficult for opposing defenses to scheme against when you have a balanced attack like the Lions did today.
Doug, when you think that high school teams are done with the regular season, they're getting ready for the playoffs, and Big Ten teams are 7 or 8 games in, the Lions, not so. They still have 10 games to go, and you think that, hey, they still have a worse winning percentage than they had last year. They're still tied for last place in the division. What do we really know about this team?
Well, we know that they're a team in a work in progress. The next 6 games are going to tell us exactly where this Lions team is. They have Seattle at home next week, 2 games on the road after that, Minnesota and Chicago, and then in the next 3 games they play Chicago again and the Rams. So they're going to find out very quickly just how good this team is over the next 6 weeks and whether they're still in playoff contention at that point or whether the season is basically over and they're looking toward next season.
Wow. Taking a look at that schedule, Darian Harris, when you think that a pro football team, a wild card team, go all the way, counting preseason, could play 24 games, can you imagine playing 24 times a year?
No, definitely not. I mean, I thought the CFL was long enough with 21 weeks in the regular season, 18 regular season games. I mean, 24 games, that's a lot. That's a lot, especially when you talk about how NFL guys are paid. That's why Kirk Cousins is trying to pave the way with guaranteed contracts for that very reason right there. 24 games, that's a lot of wear and tear on your body.
And Doug, something that a lot of people now are starting to think about, is it almost Le'Veon Bell time? I heard today that some people kicking the tires on that one. Does he come back? Is this the week?
Well, he's got to come back by week 10 or he doesn't get paid. So he's still, I guess, still got technically a little bit of time to sit out and weigh his options. Steelers ownership this week, Art Rooney Jr. said they're not trading him. So we'll see. Things could change, but I expect him to be playing for the Steelers at some point this season, and then he'll be in another uniform next year.
Kirk Cousins, another victory today.
That was a big win,
gentlemen.
Yep.
And you know, he does just enough. Seems like he and Adam Thielen have a great combination going. Patrick Mahomes, he's in action tonight as we tape this. Always fun to watch the Kansas City Air Show. And then Saquon Barkley in Monday Night Football tomorrow against Atlanta. Is there one story that is must-see TV for you in the NFL this year, Doug?
Kansas City. I mean, their offense is so incredible to watch. Andy Reid is one of the winningest coaches in the league. I think tonight he's going for his 200th career win, and there's only about 8 or 9 coaches in NFL history who have achieved that mark. So that's a great story. The Rams, though, are a team. How good are they? They're still undefeated after today. Yeah. Will they be undefeated when they face the Lions on December 2nd? That's the question.
Hey, the Rams' first loss. How about that against the Lions? Anybody buying that? I didn't think so.
Really.
That was worth a shot. All right. We will be back with our Take It to the Bank segment. All of our locks and guarantees and some predictions. And hey, we got high school football coming up for the next month, so get ready for that too. And the World Series. We'll be right back here on Press Pass.
Yodel stoves and fireplace inserts add a focal point to your home. Save up to $300 on a Yodel stove or insert during our pre-season sale.
Honest, polite, and never pushy. Come see us at Superior Saw and Lakeside Fire and Grill between Holt and Mason on Cedar Street.
I'm Tara from the Holt and Diamonddale Insurance Agency, and we love our farmers. From big to small, from livestock to crop, to tractors to combines, we've got you covered. Call your hometown team today.
Team 1 in Charlotte has reduced the price of our remaining 2018s as much as 25%. 25% off a new car at Team 1 in Charlotte. If that doesn't excite you, check out these low payments on our 19s. The 2019 Chevy Equinox and Chevy Cruze are both under $200 a month. The GMC Canyon Crew Cab 4-wheel drive and Buick Enclave are at their lowest prices at Team 1. And there's no money down on any of them because with Sign and Drive, your first payment is literally just your signature. And we'll give you more for your trade-in. Only at Team 1 in Charlotte and Team1Charlotte.com.
Friday's #1 new comedy, The Cool Kids. Fridays on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango, and Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Come on down to Outdoor Man.
When do I get to shoot the crossbows?
We're breaking the rules.
So you're 13, I don't even think it's legal. So we should do it after lunch.
Our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. And take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
He's adorable.
Listen, we found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 47.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holt and South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Touchdown score, 3 touchdown runs in each of the last 2 games, and he has one. NC State knew they were likely to go to Renfro, still couldn't stop it. Lawrence, another deep strike, and a catch, and a touchdown for T. Higgins. Lynn J. Dixon, the touchdown.
All right, Team 265. There was a matchup of unbeaten teams yesterday, but only one of them decided to show up. Right. Tom Crawford, with the additional data points that we have now, who are your guarantees to be in the playoff, and who do you like next to maybe squeak in?
Guarantees, Jack? There's no such word as guarantees.
Is Alabama a guarantee?
No, there's no guarantees. No? But
even if Alabama
I'll give
lost?
you my work in progress thing that we talked about, and that's obviously Alabama, Clemson. That was an impressive win over NC State. NC State's a good team. Yeah. Then you got LSU with that stellar defense. It might even be a better defense than Michigan's. And then you got Notre Dame until something else changes. But it's going to go every week. I got to get more data points, and so we really don't know.
Rico Beard, Clemson and Notre Dame, would they be locks for the college football playoff if they're 13-0 and 12-0 respectively?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, Clemson gets in simply because, other than Alabama, they have residency there. Notre Dame, using the name of Notre Dame, 12-0, they're in. SEC champion, in. Probably going to be Alabama. it's that fourth spot that you're going to see 4 or 5 teams competing for. But yes, a 13-0 and a 12-0 Clemson, Notre Dame, lock. That you want to talk about lock of the week?
There's no locks.
I'm seeing a lot of people, Darian, and they've got LSU there, and I get it with the schedule and the quality wins, but we're going to know a lot more after LSU hosts Alabama. What can we take to the bank about the football 4 at this point?
Well, I think that when we get to the end, it might be the most controversial in terms of who makes it in. And I was trying to figure out how to phrase it because at some point, a team like Central Florida is going to there's going to be an outcry. Now, do they deserve to get in? Are they good enough? Would they get blown out by 1,000? Maybe, probably. But how can you have a college football playoff and not allow
back-to-back undefeated seasons?
You go 8 teams. That's how.
I don't know. Central Florida had the argument last year with the Auburn victory.
They stank
this year, they don't. Here's your extra take it to the bank. I know you didn't ask for it, but I'm going to give it to you for free, Jack, because I like you.
Thank you.
We don't like you.
2-loss team in the playoffs.
First time.
First time.
No. Well, they did not have the Auburn win last year until the bowl game, till after the college football playoff selection. So I think that win a year ago helps to validate UCF springing forward. It almost counts like it's with this year. It isn't.
You got to play a credible schedule to warrant getting into the playoffs. I'm sorry. That's the way it rolls.
Well, Tom, everybody can't play SMU in Western Michigan.
I need 6, 8 playoffs.
Well, if you look at the teams now that are penciled in, all right, at this point, the best Big Ten matchup would have been Michigan's at Notre Dame. So the Wolverines get credit for at least going on the road playing that game.
Yeah, style points for losing relatively close game. Yeah. Right. But Ohio State losing Purdue does not help Michigan's case. I mean, to get that quality win, super quality win on November 24th. But they still got a shot at getting the playoff.
But I think the win over Michigan keeps Notre Dame in the playoffs.
Anybody buying Oklahoma?
No way.
No.
Big 12.
Washington State, forget about that.
Pac-12.
We got 2 conferences that are out.
Oklahoma, Texas. Oklahoma and Texas, if one finishes with 1 loss, watch out.
Oklahoma, Texas. Hey, they'll play again in the conference championship game. We'll be right back. Our final segment, Cool and Smooth, up next.
Why is October a great time to buy your next vehicle at Graf? 1, 0% financing this month at Graf Chevrolet. 2, got a trade-in? This month, Graf Okemos will double the value of your trade up to $4,000.
Drive away a 2019 Equinox LT front-wheel drive, just $141 a month.
With a great selection of new vehicles, 0% financing, and a great trade-in offer, October is definitely the right time to get your new vehicle. Only at Graf in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Same team.
Better time.
Watch Fox 47 News at 6:30.
You will not find a better selection of pre-owned vehicles anywhere. Visit us today and see why Motorcars is setting the standard for pre-owned dealerships across the nation. With over 17 years in the Lansing area, you'll find the best selection, any make, any model, premium maintenance facility, complimentary quick lube. We will optimize your buying experience at Motorcars. Easy credit approval, apply online, and remember, don't just buy a car, buy a motor car.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
You have a lot of positivity, positive energy in you.
and if you want to do something special. And I think our players recognize that Tyler has overcome a lot, battled through a lot, and he still has that great smile, and he still looks tremendous. He's definitely a Boilermaker. He's #1 in our heart, and we appreciate everything he's done for us and our football team. We're going to continue to be here for him, and we love him very much.
Just want to say Boiler up, and super happy that my prediction came true.
That is Purdue head coach Jeff Brom, and we don't have access to the locker room footage. It's embargoed, but such an emotional scene. If you saw Tom Rinaldi's piece, if you didn't, you may want to go back and try to catch that on YouTube. All right, Team 265, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, let's start with you in our play of the week.
Play of the week happened in the Michigan State game. Score is tied in the third quarter. It really looks like the next touchdown wins. That's how that game felt. I think the play of the week has to go to Grant Perry for breaking up the Khari Willis interception. Khari Willis picks that ball off, probably somewhere out in the Michigan 25. I think Michigan State could have done enough to at least kick a field goal to take the lead. And instead, as Willis is intercepting the ball, Perry gets his hand in there and knocks it out. It's a game of inches, Jack, but when you look back, that play could have turned it all around.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear that one. Good job. Darian Harris, what about our game of the week?
Game of the week, I'm going with Purdue, Ohio State. Obviously a huge win for Purdue. I think it showed that, especially in this conference, especially in the Big Ten, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And you know, one thing we always say when we're playing is, hey, those guys are on scholarship too. That's always the mindset you have to take in these games. I mean, Rondale Moore is the best offensive player right now, I believe, in the conference, and he showed it. It doesn't matter where you go. He stuck to where he wanted to go. He went to where it was the best fit for him in recruiting, and it's paying off. I mean, he carved those guys from Ohio State up. So hats off to Purdue for a big win. Guess honorable mention to the Lakers Rockets for their McGregor-Khabib.
I knew he would get an NBA reference.
I had to go in there somewhere. And you know what? I love that too. I love that too. That NBA weekend, and we already got action.
Tom Crawford. Team of the week.
We're going to double and triple down on Purdue University, the Boilermakers. I was brought up, Purdue was just the Spoilermakers, but this is a legitimate team. This was a huge one. This was one of the brightest moments in Purdue football history in recent times, maybe going back to Buckethead, Jim Everett back in those days in '84. So, hey, they're a contender, and what Jeff Brom has did there at Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, it's unbelievable. Hats off to them.
Did it help that they beat the Buckeyes?
I don't get caught.
Were you happier because they beat Ohio State or because Michigan won?
My #1 rival is Michigan State.
Yeah,
with Ohio State.
It's that Michigan's going to take care of Ohio State anyway. Okay. It doesn't matter. All right. For our player of the week, we talked about Felton Davis in a different capacity last week for his great plays at Penn State. But Felton Davis suffering that torn Achilles, he will be fondly remembered by Michigan State fans. And the tweet that he sent out after that, I think, will be remembered a long time. He says, "Forever I will bleed green. Had the best 4 years of my life playing at this university. I experienced the highs and lows with everything in between. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing." I can tell you that Mark D'Antonio and his coaching staff wouldn't change one thing either about recruiting Felton Davis III, outstanding representative of the university. Felton, you'll be missed, but you'll always be part of the Spartan family. Tom Crawford, Blue Belly Tom, Rico Beard, you can hear them on the Spotlight Radio Network, and our buddy Darian Harris, catch him on BTN Live. Go see a high school football game in the playoffs next week, and pray for a sweep, and we'll be on at the regular time.
It's all about
self-serving. Otherwise, a little bit later. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you then.